Becoming the mentally toughest version of yourself isn't about pushing harder. It's about following the right system. After producing 200-plus videos on Eastern philosophy and studying ancient samurai texts, I discovered something fascinating. The Japanese possessed a 4-stage process that turned ordinary individuals into warriors who could confront death without fear. By the conclusion of this video, you'll understand exactly how to build that same mental strength. I call it Shugyo Do, and it initiates with a truth that might shock you. Part 1. Shugyo. Rigorous training, life itself is your dojo. The Japanese understood this through Shugyo, rigorous training that transforms how you observe struggle forever. Shugyo isn't just practice, it's total immersion in difficulty. Buddhist monks sit under freezing waterfalls for hours in winter. Ice forms on their skin. Their physical bodies shake violently, but they remain completely still, finding peace inside chaos. Why? An ancient Zen proverb explains, "The obstacle is the path. Not the obstacle blocks your path. The obstacle is the path." That freezing water isn't something to endure, it's what creates an unbreakable consciousness. When you discontinue running from discomfort, your consciousness discontinues observing difficulty as an enemy. It becomes neutral, just another experience. This is why trained monks can sit in freezing water as calmly as you sit on your couch. The danger of modern comfort. Now observe at modern existence. We've engineered out every discomfort. Too hot? Air conditioning. Bored? Infinite entertainment. Hungry? Food delivery in 20 minutes. Every convenience makes us weaker. Your tolerance for difficulty shrinks until small challenges experience impossible. The samurai understood this danger. In the Hagakure, Yamamoto Tsunetomo wrote, "The manner of the samurai is found in death." He means the death of your weak self, the part that chooses comfort, the part that surrenders when things get hard. Only by confronting your limits do you transcend them. When samurai trained, they didn't discontinue when tired. They discontinued when transformed. Musashi's secret: Miyamoto Musashi won 60 duels, but spent hours daily practicing calligraphy. Why? Because perfect brushstrokes require the same discipline as perfect sword strikes. One shaky movement ruins everything. By mastering the brush, he mastered his consciousness. The sword became an extension of that mastery. This is Shugyo, taking something difficult and using it to forge mental steel. How to create your own Shugyo. First, identify what you avoid. Difficult conversations, physical discomfort, being alone with your thoughts. Whatever you run from becomes your training ground. Commit to daily practice for 100 days. Genuine transformation takes time. Pick something specific. If you avoid confrontation, possess one difficult conversation daily. If you fear discomfort, take cold showers. If you can't focus, sit in silence for 20 minutes, no negotiation. When your alarm goes off, you don't contemplate, you accomplish. This isn't about motivation, it's about becoming someone who accomplishes hard things automatically. Most of you won't attempt this. You'll save this video, promise to initiate tomorrow, then find an excuse. Shugyo isn't for everyone, it's for individuals sick of being weak. But here's the challenge. Shugyo without direction is just suffering. The monks didn't train randomly. They followed a path that gave their training meaning. This is where Budo enters, the martial manner that transforms discipline into life philosophy. Part 2. Budo. The martial way. Budo means martial manner. But forget what you contemplate, you understand about martial arts. This isn't about fighting. It's about turning your entire existence into a discipline. Gichin Funakoshi, founder of modern karate, made this clear. The ultimate aim of martial arts is not victory, but perfection of character. Read that again. Not victory, character. The samurai discovered something profound. The principles that make you formidable in combat also make you unstoppable in existence. What Budo really means, every moment becomes training. Every interaction tests your discipline. That annoying coworker, training. That temptation to surrender, training. Existence discontinues being something that happens to you, it becomes your practice. The samurai inhabited this manner. They didn't just train in the dojo, then become normal individuals outside. They turned daily routines into rituals of discipline. Wake up. Ritual. Consume breakfast. Ritual. Even how they entered a chamber followed specific principles. Not because they were obsessed with rules, because they understood that how you accomplish anything is how you accomplish everything. This is why they could confront death without flinching. They'd already practiced discipline in 10,000 small moments. Death was just another test. Yamamoto's counterintuitive wisdom, Yamamoto Tsunetomo, captured this perfectly. Matters of great concern should be treated lightly. Matters of small concern should be treated seriously. Sounds backwards, but he's revealing the secret of mental toughness. When you treat small things with discipline, substantial things lose their power over you. Contemplate about it. If you can't handle morning traffic without losing your temper, how will you handle a genuine crisis? If you can't maintain discipline when exhausted, what happens under genuine pressure? The SM. All moments are rehearsals for the substantial ones. Budo in modern life. Modern existence gives us endless opportunities for Budo. Stuck in traffic? Practice patience. Dealing with difficult individuals? Practice emotional control. Confronting a deadline? Practice focus under pressure. Same principles the samurai used, applied to today's battles. The shift that transforms everything. Discontinue observing challenges as interruptions to your existence. They are your existence. They're not obstacles to your growth. They're the method of your growth. Your function becomes your dojo. Your struggles become your sensei. The Japanese possess a proverb. Fall down 7 times, get up 8. Everyone understands this quote. Almost nobody understands it. It's not about resilience. It's about mathematics that don't make sense. How do you get up more occasions than you fall? Because the 8th occasion is tomorrow morning when you wake up. You get up before existence knocks you down. You initiate each day already standing, already practicing, already in Budo. This is inhabiting the manner. But there's a danger in Budo. You can practice in your comfortable dojo forever. Genuine warriors understood they required more. They required testing themselves against reality, against the unknown. They called it Musha Shugyo, the warrior's pilgrimage, departing everything behind to discover if their training was genuine or just theory. Part 3. Musha Shugyo, the warrior's pilgrimage. This is where comfortable practice meets uncomfortable reality, where you discover if your training is genuine or just pretend. In feudal Japan, samurai would abandon everything, their home, their master, their security, and wander the country seeking challenges. No safety net, no backup plan, just their skills against whatever came subsequent. They called it training in the world. Musashi's pilgrimage, Miyamoto. Musashi inhabited this completely. At 15, he departed home and never returned. For decades, he wandered Japan, fighting anyone who'd challenge him. 60 duels. Never defeated. Not because he was naturally gifted, because Musha Shugyo forged him into something beyond ordinary. But here's what most miss about Musashi. Between duels, he slept in caves, consumed whatever he could find, confronted starvation, freezing cold, complete uncertainty. The duels weren't the training. Surviving the journey was. As he wrote, "You must understand that there is more than one path to the top of the mountain." He meant this literally. When you're comfortable, you observe one manner forward. When you're desperate, creative, pushed to your limits, suddenly you observe paths everywhere. Musha Shugyo forces you to find paths you never understood existed. The modern comfort prison. Modern existence rarely demands this. We inhabit in bubbles of safety, same route to function, same individuals, same challenges. Our comfort zone becomes a prison, and we become prisoners who appreciate our cage. But some still embrace Musha Shugyo. Take Yuichiro Miura, a Japanese salaryman who experienced deceased inside after decades of routine. At 70 years old, he surrendered everything to climb Everest. Not with elite training, not with years of preparation, just a decision to test himself against the ultimate mountain. He nearly expired 5 occasions, lost toes to frostbite, but he reached the summit. When inquired why, he articulated, "I required understanding if I was still alive." That's Musha Shugyo, deliberately choosing challenges that could break you, because only at the breaking point do you discover what you're made of. Your own pilgrimage. You don't require climbing Everest, but you require your own pilgrimage, something that pulls you from safety into growth. Initiating that, business with no guarantee, moving to a new country, possessing that conversation you've avoided for years. The specifics don't matter. The departing matters. The brutal truth. Here's the brutal truth about Musha Shugyo. Most who initiated never returned. Not because they expired, because they discovered they were frauds. Their dojo skills meant nothing in genuine combat. Their mental toughness crumbled under genuine pressure. This is where individuals discover who they genuinely are. The Bushido Code states, "A samurai's word is his bond." But here's the deeper meaning. The most important promises are the ones you make to yourself. When you articulate you'll accomplish something hard, then back down when it gets genuine, you break the bond with yourself. Each broken promise weakens you. Musha Shugyo tests this bond, away from familiar support, confronting genuine consequences. You can't fake it anymore. Either you honor your word to yourself, or you discover you've been lying all along. This is why warriors return transformed. Not from winning fights, from keeping promises to themselves when surrendering would have been easier, from discovering they could trust themselves completely. But surviving the pilgrimage is just preparation. The genuine transformation comes through the 3 stages of mastery, what the Japanese call shuhari, the path from student to master to something beyond both. Part 4, Shuhari, the 3 stages of mastery. Every Japanese master followed these stages, not by choice, by necessity. This is how mastery actually functions. Stage 1, Shu, protect or obey. This is where everyone initiates, but nobody wants to stay. In Shu, you copy. Exactly. No creativity, no personal touch, just perfect imitation of proven methods. The Buddhist proverb states, "When the student is ready, the teacher will appear." But here's what it genuinely means. The student becomes ready by emptying themselves completely. No ego, no superior ideas, just absorption. Modern individuals despise this. We want to innovate immediately, add our spin, demonstrate how special we are. But the Japanese masters understood. You can't break rules you haven't mastered. You can't transcend basics you don't own completely. Takuan Soho, the Zen master who taught Musashi, explained, "The consciousness must always be in the state of flowing. But in Shu, you're not flowing yet. You're building the riverbed that will guide the flow later. Every repetition carves the channel deeper. Contemplative learning to write. First, you trace letters exactly, thousands of occasions. Boring? Yes. Necessary? Absolutely. Because those traced letters become the foundation for your future signature. Skip this stage and you'll write like a child forever." In Eshu, mental toughness means accepting that you understand nothing, following instructions without questioning, repeating basics until they're automatic. Most individuals surrender here because it bruises their ego. They want to be masters without being students first. Stage 2. Ha. Break or detach. Now you've earned the right to question. The foundation is solid, so you can initiate building your own structure. This is where personal style emerges. Matsuo Basho captured this perfectly. Do not seek to follow in the footsteps of the wise. Seek what they sought. In Shu, you follow footsteps exactly. In Ha, you understand why those footsteps went where they did. Now you can find your own path to the same destination. Stage 3, Ri, leave or transcend. Finally comes Ri, where technique disappears, where contemplating discontinues and being begins. You no longer practice mental toughness. Mental toughness. Musashi reached Ri in his final years, living alone in a cave. He wrote, "In strategy, it is important to observe distant things as if they were close, and to take a distanced view of close things." Only someone in RE could write this. He's not discussing physical distance. He's describing a consciousness that transcended normal perception. In RE, there's no difference between you and your practice. A master carpenter doesn't contemplate about using his tools. His hands understand. A samurai doesn't decide to be brave. Courage is his nature. You don't choose mental toughness. It chooses you. This is why genuine masters appear supernatural. They're not attempting anymore. Decades of Shu built the foundation. Years of Ha refined their understanding. Now in RE, they operate from a place beyond technique. They've become what they practiced. Most never reach Ri. They get comfortable in Ha. Contemplating innovation is the conclusion point. But Ri isn't about being creative or disciplined. It's about disappearing completely until only the manner remains. When you reach RI in mental toughness, you discontinue requiring motivation. Discontinue using techniques. Discontinue attempting to be strong. Strength simply flows through you in whatever form the moment requires. You've become the teaching, the path forward. This is a life path, not a 30-day challenge, not a morning routine, a complete transformation that takes years. But it initiates with one decision today. Choose your first Shugyo. Something you avoid, something that frightens you. Commit to confronting it daily for 100 days. No negotiation, no excuses, just practice. The activity doesn't matter. The commitment does. Because, as the samurai maxim states, tomorrow's battle is won during today's practice. Read that again. Tomorrow's battle, your future challenges, crises, breaking points, is already decided by what? By whether you practice today. By whether you choose comfort or growth right now. The monks under waterfalls aren't preparing for waterfalls. They're preparing for existence. You're not training for cold showers. You're training for everything that will attempt to break you. Begin today. Initiate today. Not tomorrow, not Monday. Today. Because the individual who initiates today has already defeated the individual who initiates tomorrow. Remember, you don't require to be motivated. You require to begin. The path will teach you everything else. This is Shugyo Do. Your evolution initiates now.